Jehovah's Witnesses believe Jesus is a created being. God made the Archangel Michael, and every other thing kind of made it through him, and then Michael sort of became Jesus. And then when Jesus died, that was it. He just simply ceased to exist. And then Michael was raised, but not a physical resurrection, a spiritual resurrection. Now, they don't believe in the resurrection the way we Christians do. In fact, they don't really believe it. They believe that when you die, you're just simply deceased. The Watchtower predicted the end of the world would happen in 1914, and it didn't. So, to cover that false prediction, the Watchtower claimed that they believe Jesus began his invisible rule over the earth in 1914. And they believe the Holy Spirit is it, not a God, not the Holy Spirit, but a Holy Spirit. Jehovah's Witnesses are not allowed to research about them. They are only allowed to use their website. They must use their materials provided by the Watchtower. They believe that other study tools and translations, other than the world translations, are the work of the devil. They are not allowed to have any interactions with others who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, and they will not accept any materials you give. We Christians believe that there are only two categories of the people in the world, saved or unsaved. But for Jehovah's Witnesses, there are three categories of people in the world. The first one is the anointed one. Second is the great crowd. And third one is unsaved or others. The anointed one class is 144,000 people. Now, most of the modern anointed class were in Brooklyn, New York, and then it moved to Warwick, New York. Those people are the ones that will be resurrected spiritually, and they will rule and reign in heaven. The Watchtower organization in 1935 says that God stopped calling people into the anointed class. I guess they were recruiting too many people to hand out the tickets to heaven. The second class is the great crowd. They are also Jehovah's Witnesses, but they can't go to heaven with the anointed class. Instead, they will be resurrected, not spiritually, but physically, which is a lesser resurrection, and will live on paradise earth. So the first class, the anointed, will end up in heaven. The second one, the great crowd, will end up in paradise earth. And the third class, which is everybody else, yes, that includes you and me, we will just simply die, and that's it. The sad reality for Jehovah's Witnesses is that they will never know if they're saved or not. They have to earn their salvation. Also, this means that Jesus is not enough when it comes to salvation. They believe walking door to door for an hour or more every month is a must ministry activity to earn their salvation. To fill the hours, they walk slowly. And they believe it's evil to salute any flag or to serve in the military. And they can't celebrate birthdays, Christmas, Easter, and just any holiday. How sad is that? And they believe that blood transfusion is sinful. Now, according to their website, they believe both the Old and New Testament command them to abstain from blood, as God views blood as representing life. So they avoid taking blood. If a Jehovah's Witness accepts a blood transfusion, they will be cut out of the community. It's called disfellowshipped. They think the cross is a pagan symbol. They can't use it. And they can't talk to formal Jehovah's Witnesses. It's one of their doctrines called shunning. This is simply the watchtower's mind control game, teaching these ridiculous rules to control people's minds. And they have their own Bible called New World Translation. In this translation, you will find the word Jehovah a lot, like a lot. If Jehovah's Witnesses don't use the name correctly, they believe that Jehovah will not hear them. For them, bearing that name is proof that you are saved. Now here is an interesting fact. There is no J in Hebrew. They should have used Yahweh, which nowadays people will say, and a lot of scholars will agree with that too. But the founder, Charles Taze Russell, didn't know Hebrew. Jehovah is a Latinization of the Hebrew tetra. If you study Greek, you will know in the New Testament we have doesn't mention either Jehovah or Yahweh. Not even once. I think most of Christians would agree that it's still okay to use Jehovah in a traditional way, but in Jehovah's Witness Bible, you will see a lot of Jehovah. Just like the Passion Translation, the Watchtower made all this up to mind control people. Prayer is our spiritual weapon. It is God who gives salvation, so we should always be prepared by praying. It's the most important step. Get to know the scriptures more. I know you're eager to learn about Jehovah's Witnesses' beliefs to share the gospel, but let me quickly give you an illustration. Do you love cheese? I do. But sometimes I eat dairy-free cheese for my sinus issues. Now, I worked as a chef previously, and we used both dairy-free and non-dairy-free cheese. We would keep them in a plain service container so we can see which is which. Whenever we have new staff to train, they usually have no idea which is which when it gets busy. But I know what dairy-free cheese looks like and tastes like. You get my point here, right? You and I need to get to know the scriptures every day so that we'll know which is false or not. Use their Bible translation. Because they're only supposed to use their watchtower materials, they will not listen to us. Because according to them, what we believe is the work of the devil. But they have so many errors in their Bible. Let me just give you 2 examples. So Jehovah Witnesses, they don't believe the Trinity. But in this passage, it says Jesus is Jehovah. 2 Samuel 22:29 says, "For you are my lamp, O Jehovah. It is Jehovah who lights up my darkness." Then if you go to Revelation 21:23, it says, "And the city has no need of the sun, nor of the moon to shine on it. For the glory of God illuminated it, and its lamp was the Lamb." Meaning Jehovah is the lamp, which is the Lamb, who is Jesus. Therefore, Jesus is Jehovah. Now, second example, if you look at the Kingdom Interlinear translation of Greek scriptures, you will know they made stuff up and added them to New World Translation to support their theology. Study only one thing to plant a seed. If you go on and on and on explaining things you know, it doesn't matter what you talk about is right or wrong. Jehovah's Witnesses will go and on as well. And eventually, you'll just be like, so what did we talk about? Jehovah's Witnesses spend a lot of time studying their stuff. They know how to and what to say certain topics. And this will bring to the next point, control the conversation. If they go, oh, how about this? Then bring them back to the topic. Planting one seed will crack their heart. And pray that God will control the conversation. Lastly, be compassionate. This is not a debate that you must win. I recently watched a former Jehovah's Witness story. I will leave the link down. She even wrote a book. Jehovah's Witnesses are heading to destruction. They need Jesus. They need his love, his salvation, just like you and me. So please, let's be compassionate. Now, some of you may know Melissa Doherty. She has done a lot of videos on Jehovah's Witnesses. And I love what she said when it comes to sharing the gospel with the Jehovah's Witnesses. She said this: "It's not a presentation, It's a conversation.